You're still on the pulse here on Joy News. We're also on DSTV and also on GoTV, also live on social media. You can leave your comments there whilst you watch us live. And we have an interesting conversation coming up on the pulse. I have guests from the Gender, Children and Social Protection Ministry. There's a call center that's been set up. I'm pretty excited about it, but I'll let them introduce themselves quickly, and then we can start our conversation. Please.
Okay, my name is Nana Chumdamsu, the call center manager.
Wow. I also have
Victoria Nachu, Executive Secretary, Human Trafficking Secretariat, under the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection.
You're welcome. So just before we get into the call center proper, I'm sure that you've been hearing us talk about a alleged gang raping incident that we all woke up to today and over the weekend as well. You are from the Gender Social Protection Ministry. Auntie Vic, you have a quick comment or two on it?
Thank you very much. I have not seen the video, and like I was telling you, from the reports we are hearing, I would not even want to look at it. But then let me also state straight away that when issues like this happen, it is the police that must take it up first and foremost. The victim, if he is able, should report to the police, or a friend to the victim or a family member should report quickly. Okay. And then the police will deal with it. Fortunately, I'm told the police has issued a statement, and that those distributing or circulating the video must stop, because it's seriously a violation on the rights of the woman or the lady, and it goes to stigmatize her more. Yeah. She's gone through trauma already, and then the distribution of this video is going to add up to her woes. Exactly. And therefore we'll use this opportunity to appeal to those who are circulating this video to stop. And then let me also say, as a ministry, we condemn in no authentic terms this incident of gang rape. One single rape is even bad enough. And for about 4 or so people, if that is what the numbers are.
Yeah, we're told 4.
Yes, and it's not right. The police will deal with that side of it, and then later, if it needs psychological counseling and the rest, the police I know can do that also, but then we would follow up to see what else can be done to support her.
Okay, I'm glad to hear that the Gender Ministry is very much aware of this and in touch and looking out for what will happen after that investigation. But let's talk about the call center. It excites me to hear that the Gender Ministry has a call center. So, Nanajwa, what is this call center about?
Okay, the call center basically is the single window, we call it single window citizenry service, whereby Ghanaians, all of us, we can call into the call center, and then our issues like rape, domestic violence, and then we have the school feeding, you have issues on school feeding, we have the national health insurance, then we have the LEAP, that's the livelihood empowerment against poverty. If you have any issues on such, you call the call center and you have rapid response. Now the call center basically is our Honorable Minister's baby, is her dream. Yes, so that we'll have a call center whereby issues like this will be addressed. So that when you call in the call center, the agents will pick up the issue and then do a follow-up to the appropriate quarters.
Okay, yes. I'm sure we'll get details on the number of hours this call center will work, how many personnel are on duty to receive our calls. So, example, with this case, with this rape case, for instance, this gang raping allegedly case, for instance, we can call into the call center and then file a complaint.
Yes.
And what happens to the complaints? What happens if I call into the call center, for instance, and I file a complaint to you, to your persons that will speak to me? What happens to it?
So that's the first step.
Okay.
Once you call into the call center and receive the complaint, then we do a follow-up with the appropriate, we have the directory of the various units. Okay. So we will do a follow-up, we'll call the police, those in charge of rape and all that, and then they'll do a follow-up, and they will also do a follow-up and then give you a feedback on the issue that you reported.
Okay, so this center will be at the gender ministry?
Yes.
Okay, so it's a 24-hour, 6-hour, how many hours?
24 hours.
24 hours.
Yes.
Okay, so what kind of call center is it? We've heard about call center for telcos and all that. How does this work?
Okay, well, this one, just like the telcos, you call in, somebody receives your complaint, it moves on to another level, somebody calls you back with a feedback.
So how many people, for instance, are in this call center? Is it an ultra-modern call center? What
Yeah,
kind of call center
let me quickly help.
Okay.
The center is going to be said that we have various small committees that will handle various issues.
Okay.
So it's not a one-man office or center. The receivers will just pick the information, that's the first level, and hand over the case depending on the complaint to whichever committee. Okay. They will look at it quickly and see who to hand over this particular complaint to. If it is to DOFSU, it goes to DOFSU. Okay. If it is to health, it goes to health. If it's to social welfare, even it can be water. Yes. It can be the Ghana Telecom.
Oh, so you're just calling basically about everything and anything?
Everything, but not everything.
Okay.
First, she mentioned the livelihood empowerment, school feeding, household registry, those particular activities that we work with.
Okay.
But then we are also looking at human trafficking, domestic violence, child marriage, all those issues. But just in case mistakenly you call because of a water problem, then we in that small committee will say this is not for.
So it won't be dismissed?
No, not at all. We'll still take it
okay.
and refer to the appropriate quarters to deal with it. Yes. So it's virtually an open sort of. But then our focus mainly is on our activities and the various departments and our agency.
When is it starting?
The launch is tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
we are launching tomorrow.
So after the launch, it means that we can, the numbers and everything will be put out.
Yes,
we can start
tomorrow.
Yes. Okay, Auntie Vic, but since you are the executive secretary also of the Human Trafficking Secretariat, we can't have you without talking about human trafficking as well. What's the status as it stands now? Are we winning the fight? What's going on?
Well, I would not say we are winning, and I will also not say we are losing. We are doing a lot of awareness raising. I've been here on 2 occasions to talk about issues of trafficking. It's difficult to change attitudes, but we are not relenting in our efforts. Next year, like my minister said, we are rolling out a lot of campaign programs, and this time we may not be in Accra. We are going into the communities to let people know the dangers of trafficking. You are all witnesses to what we saw concerning the Libya tragedy. Those are what we have seen. There are other things we have not seen. Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, and those others are all difficult challenges we are dealing with. We've taken steps. If you remember, the Ministry of Employment and Labor gave a directive that young women should stop traveling, or there is a ban on traveling through the Kotoka International Airport to the Gulf states. But surprisingly, all the discussions we've had and the miserable documentaries we've shown and whatever, young women found their way through the eastern borders, Togo, to go and board planes there and to travel. We'll continue talking about it because it's difficult to protect victims of trafficking, especially when you've gone there and you are back. Some don't come sane again. Psychologically, they are traumatized, and it's difficult to take them out of that traumatic situation back to normal. So it's so expensive to bring the person back to her normal state, and therefore we want them not to even go at all. We will not stop. We'll continue talking about it.
We definitely will continue talking about it here as well. But I've succeeded in killing 3 birds with 1 stone. But I'll come back to the very bed that for which we are here, the call centers. What form will this launch take tomorrow, Nanaja, quickly, then we can wrap up?
Okay, the launch is going to take a soft launch. We're going to have media, we're going to have the normal.
It won't be like the he for she campaign.
Yes, because we are launching. This is pre-launch. This is a first step. Yes, this is the pre-launch. So we are going to have a post-launch. So we are going to have, currently we're going to start with just a few agents. We have about 6.
Okay.
We have 3, and then 3 national service people supporting us. Okay. So that's basically it.
We're here to give you all the support. Thank you very much for your time. That's Nanajwa Chumdanso. She's the call center manager. And then also Madame Victoria Nachu. She's Executive Secretary, Human Trafficking Secretariat. Thank you very much for your time here on The Pulse. Now, stealing is an abominable act. But what can be more sacrilegious than robbing from God's home? That's the situation some residents of Achimota Mile 7 are enduring as robbers continue to break into their homes, as churches are not excluded. Just this weekend, 2 cars were snatched. The burglar-proof doors of a mobile money shop was destroyed, with items valued at 25,000 Ghana cedis stolen. Now, a church in the community was also not spared, as the robbers destroyed the metallic bars and stole from the Rima Gospel Church. Some victims of the robberies want the police to increase their visibility. Maxwell Agbagba has more.
I'm currently inside the Rima Gospel International Church. Well, a banner here says 2 Corinthians chapter 3 verse 17. Now the Lord is that Spirit, and where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. But it looks the case that the church, and just like the residents living in this community, have not found their liberty from some unscrupulous people who go about robbing them of their possessions. Just last Saturday, this church was robbed of its 2 amplifiers. I've met one of the caretakers here. He's going to tell me exactly what happened on that day. Sir, how are you doing?
Fine.
What exactly happened on that day?
You don't understand why some people came here and still come to, if you want to stay, it's not God's house. And you stay, you stand almost 5 minutes. Still, you don't even talk. You stand in shock. You don't understand why this happened in the house of the Lord. And I'm also shocked. Because if you want to thief, as a thiefer, you want to thief. It's not in the heart of the Lord. Maybe it's thief cry. It's not good in general. It's not good. As a man, we have to work. If the Bible says a hand, I forget the scripture. They say a hand without no work, it shouldn't eat.
Earlier, we are at the office of the district commander of the Mile 7 Achimota police station. Well, he says he has not really received the reports of some of the incessant attacks that the residents here are talking about. He stated that over the weekend, they had 2 incidents of snatching, which had to do with some 2 taxis. I'm here to find out from some of the victims of the latest attack here in this community. Sometime in October, some robbers came here and made way with an amount of about 20,000 Ghana cedis. They've come back here at this place just some days ago.
I was in the room sleeping, and my uncle called me around 5:30. He called me, so I should come. I said, "What's happened?" He said, "They robbed us again." So when I came, I saw a door break down, and they entered the inside. They searched everything, everywhere, our self-line and our credit card and our Wi-Fi. It's about 25,000. Very fear. We are fear because nowadays the security are not tight. Before the police used to come around, walking around with their cars, but nowadays no. If you see them once, they'll pass once. You see them once. You see them of like the way they used to come around before, but nowadays no, because my 7 are not secure with the police. No. Very bad. And when you are sleeping, we are afraid that, I don't know, very, very bad. Even we are not secure at all. No. So we are begging the police people to guide us, protect us, because I thought they are there for us. So they should take good care of us.
You're still on the pulse. We'll take a short break. When we return, we have sports with Baba Tando.